What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of 27 and Q alongside that man right there. He better hide himself tonight. The two-time Super Bowl champ from the New York Football Giants, a great running back, number 27, Brandon Jacobs. I'm Rich Quinones. Appreciate everyone always keeping us locked in. Last night's pod already up on the 27 and Q YouTube channel, Buzzsprout, Amazon Music, and Apple. So we appreciate all the feedback. You guys keep them coming, man. We enjoy it. A lot of stuff to get into. Giants coming off the bye. They got a big game against the Texans. Jeff Saturday, head coach with the Colts. They take on the Raiders. The Eagles, 11-point favorites over Washington. You got Dallas and you got the Cowboys and the Packers. We got some NBA. We got some late boxing news, if you will. So a little potpourri tonight. How are you, my friend?
I am doing absolutely phenomenal, Rich. I'm telling you, we got some stuff going on in the boxing world. You know, we got some Kyrie Irving conversation. Again, Giants off the bye, like you just said. There's a bunch of different stuff we can get into tonight, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get a couple of your best bets. We'll lay out a couple games later on, second portion of the show from our good friends at Spooky Express. If you guys sign up, $20 free bet, subscribe to the YouTube channel, get the 20 in free bets, and you get the free shirt as well. All right, so you poked the bear today on social media. And listen, here's the beauty of what we do, right? Everyone's, what you and I do, we've got opinions, we come raw, and we go back and forth. But there's always that respect factor, right? I mean, we always have fun. And, you know, and I think to set the stage for the audience, you tweeted out, you kind of set the stage for everyone, and then we'll take it from there regarding Kyrie.
So, you know, the whole Kyrie situation, man. So what I did today on Twitter, I posted the thumbnail of the Jeffrey Dahmer movie picture. And I said, if I post this, does this mean I want to murder and eat people? Does that mean I want to murder and eat, homosexuals and all of this shit? Does that what that mean if I post it? You know, no, that's not what I mean. I don't want to eat or kill anybody. You know, I don't want to do any of that. You know, it's just a movie or you can call it a documentary that someone made to watch with your eyes, right? So I'm thinking that maybe, Kyrie posted the whole thing on the Hebrews to Negroes or whatever you want to call it thing as he didn't have any context with his post, right? He just posted that. Maybe it was some sort of educational thing. He watched it, liked it, maybe wanted to get everyone else's opinion on it or get everybody else to watch it or make them, enlighten them of what he just watched. Hey, he didn't even say anything. He just posted a picture. So now he's in danger of losing his career over just that. And no one really knew what his thoughts is. No one ever even said, he still haven't came out and said anything. And people are pissed because he haven't apologized. He didn't say anything but hit send for a picture on social media with no context. So how can anybody make an assumption on what he mean by doing that?
So a couple things. He's got 46 million followers on social media. So we know the impact is there, right? He plays for the Brooklyn Nets or was playing for the Brooklyn Nets. And think about this, right? You're talking about population wise, I would probably say one of the largest or the second largest Jewish population center in the world. So you said he didn't know context, right? And here's the issue with that. If you're retweeting it, the perception is you're supporting it to some extent. That's how it's perceived. And what he does is he then goes and doubles down on everything. I mean, look, you're pushing something, this false narrative where you to some extent are dismissing the Holocaust. It's anti-Semitic. I can't sit there and say if he's educated on the topic, because I know when he got pressed by an ESPN reporter, he was getting pissed off saying the reporters or the media was trying to dehumanize him. I mean, that is just the most tone-deaf response I ever heard. No one was trying to dehumanize him. What they were basically saying is, we're calling out your bullshit. We're calling out, your thought process here. Back it up. And he kept doubling down. See, I believe if he was sincere and he apologized, see, a lot of times what happens, right? when we get caught or when we know a job's at stake. That's when we apologize. I don't know the genuine nature of it, but 46 million, you're spewing that out there. The perception, the optics are horrible. And to your point, what you tweeted today to me is apples to apples. It's not apples to oranges. That's because, again, I mean, look, I get what you're saying, but all right, am I going to sit there and say, let me go live in the ghettos and the projects, and I'm going to go and stalk minorities and then bring them back and have sex with them and poison them and then kill them and get rid of all these men. And then I'm bored on a Monday night watching football. What am I going to do? Have a halftime snack and nibble on them? It's apples to apples. I understand where you are coming from. Your point is we don't know what he's thinking, but doesn't that tweet and then the after fact of the pushing back kind of open up and tells us what he's thinking?
Rich, I got to be honest with you. I will push back too if I had no context. You said he's dismissing the Holocaust. He didn't say anything about it. He's not dismissing anything because he didn't say anything. He had no context. He didn't open his mouth. He didn't tweet. He didn't write nothing. He had nothing, just a picture he posted. He's not dismissing anything. So if I'm Kyrie, I wouldn't apologize either because I did nothing wrong but post a picture, a thumbnail. I wouldn't apologize either.
But the movie or the book is very anti-Semitic. So if you're tweeting that or supporting that or the appearance of supporting it, to me, I think it comes off as tone. Let me ask you a question. And again, we talk raw, we talk honest on this show. This is what we do, right? And this is the banner we have. If I posted, if I posted something where I was support of the KKK, and it was okay to go around many years ago and grab young Black teens and women and children and lynch them and string them up. And I'm in support of a doc on that. And I'm retweeting it or I'm favorite of it. And then I'm pushed on the subject and I make these insane comments regarding it. My career, I'm done.
No, you're not. Let's just call it what it is, Rich.
20 plus years and I'm done. I am done, my friend.
You're not done.
You're
not done. You'll get another opportunity tomorrow. You'll get another opportunity.
I do not believe that.
You know what they've been trying to tell us for years, Rich? Oh, get over it. Get over it. Get over it. That's all we've been hearing for years. Get over it. Now all of a sudden, Kyrie posted a thumbnail of the picture, and now he's fucking losing his career. Like over something. He didn't make any comments toward anything. He just said he wasn't apologizing because he did nothing wrong. I believe him. I believe him. But they've been telling us for years, get over it. Get over it. Why are you still talking about that? You guys are in a great place in life now. You guys got to get over it. Well, guess what? Fuck you, because we ain't getting over nothing. Because everything that happens, like this. Kyrie's losing his career over it. Now, if someone else would have said something like this about that, or some regular white dude would have said something about this whole thing, Rich, he wouldn't be dealing with the same shit Kyrie Irving is dealing with. He don't get the same opportunity, is what I'm telling you.
I wholeheartedly, I'm telling you, if I'm in support of the KKK and tweet something like that, my career's done. I'm not doing any broadcasts. I'm not doing any fights. I'm not doing any radio. I'm not doing any play-by-play. I am SOL shit out of luck. And if I'm being dead serious, man. I'm telling you, it is almost this double standard at times. And trust me, I can't speak for you. I don't know what it's like being Black. I can't speak for you. And if I tried to, it would be asinine.
I get that, but what I'm trying to say, if you just posted a book and it got a guy on there wearing a robe and you had no context, you should not get crucified for that. And I don't think you would.
But he doubled down after the fact. What he was saying.
Double down.
Talking out of his ass because
he didn't do anything, Rich. I would have doubled down too. I'm not going to apologize for nothing.
But again, the perception, the optics, it's offensive. It's the message is coming across, and we're most likely going to agree to disagree. The message
we probably will. I love you, though.
The message is coming across.
We love you, but we're going to agree to disagree.
The message is coming across is anti-Semitic. That's what I'm saying. When I saw your Dahmer thing, I said, oh my goodness, this is apples to apples, man. It's apples to apples. If social media was around and Dahmer was going through his trial and social media wasn't around and somebody tweeted, in support, or well, I don't really think there's really, I don't really believe it. I think, he didn't lure these men in there. He didn't, he wasn't trying to stalk them or target them. They would be done. They would be done. I'm telling you, if I tomorrow, which I would never do because it's not what I believe, but if I was dumb enough to pretend like I'm going to get away with something and tweet something that had to do with racial overtones or KKK or some BS like that, I'm telling you right now, I would be done. I would have to get off social media. I would call you from an island, maybe in the tropics, on a collect call or a burner cell, just to check up to see what the Giants were doing. I would be done.
I don't know about that, Rich. I mean, opportunities are different for us, man. I'm just telling you, man. It is. You may not want to hear it, or you may not see it, but the previous comes with this thing. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, listen, if you're going to sit there and say it's not easy for people, it's not. I mean, it isn't. It's not like I woke up and rolled out of bed one day and was handed a job. I mean,
no, I'm not saying you didn't work for what you got now. Yeah. I'm not saying that at all. By no stretch of imagination, I will never downplay the hard work and dedication of man or woman, regardless of color that they're put in to get to where they are. But I'm saying your opportunities are comes more often than a lot of people.
I don't know, man.
Just saying. Now you go to work, you make your money, you do what you got to do. You're a hardworking guy. I think you're a good man. Hey, I think you're a good man at heart, Rich. I love you. You're a great dude. I get like all of that whole, I think you deserve all the good that you get, right? But just because if you posted some shit like you talked about, right, with absolutely no context, Rich, that's what I'm sticking to. And I don't think I'm gonna apologize for something where I felt like I didn't do anything wrong. Because if I apologize, that means I did something wrong.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think a lot of times people realize they got their hand caught in the cookie jar and figure, shit, I'm about to lose my gig. I'm about to lose my career. Let me tap dance and let me apologize. And then there are I'm a believer in, if you have strong enough convictions, then you stand by your convictions. But there's a difference between having convictions and then acting like, a jackass. I mean, honestly, and you have to go by the body of work, right? The issues last year with the vaccine, no vaccination. Then the story comes out, I think today or 2 days ago, that he was blowing off 10 plays that were drawn up that Steve Nash was calling during timeout. So he was going rogue in that regard, right? The fact that, the earth is flat and probably thinks there was no landing on it's the body of work, right? You're not helping your.
Oh, no.
Listen,
stuff you got to make some points now.
Listen, the body of work is what I'm saying, right? The body of work and the perception. I'm on Twitter. I've got 46 million followers. If I tweet something, people are going to subscribe to that and buy into it. And then when you double down and you realize it didn't offend people, look, you understand how it is right now.
I do understand how it is right now.
It's very divided the country. Everyone's a little on edge. There's sensitivity factors and issues. I get it. And to your point, you don't want to hear certain things. You probably get tired of hearing things, as you alluded to, like, get over it. Totally understand that, right? We all had family that had struggles coming in and in this country and wherever parts they were from. So I understand where you're coming from in that.
And let me tell you, man, my agent is Jewish. And I love Justin Schulman to death, man. Guys took me places that I thought I'd never go in life. I mean, when I first sat down and ate with him, I sat down and had a steak at Ruth Chris with him. He paid $82 for a steak for me. Right. And I said to myself, like, I will never, ever in life spend $82 on a steak. He looked at me, he was like, we will see. And lo and behold, I did it every week from that point going forward. Right. And he's Jewish, great guy. I mean, and I'm not saying anything, toward the Jew. I mean, I don't believe, or dismissing the Holocaust or the things that happened to Jewish people. And I always say Jewish people because I hate the word Jew. That word, I can't stand that word Jew. I think that's so derogatory. Fair enough. To me. So Jew to me is like, I can't say it. So I always say Jewish people every time I'm speaking or something like that. But so I don't want people to think I'm against what's going on. But I think if Kyrie would have posted that and had such, the Holocaust is bullshit. It never happened. They're trying to take over, blah, 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 blah. crucify his ass till he's skin and bones, and until we, crucify him. Like I'm talking about badly, right? But he had nothing to say about the thing, man. And I think that's my only problem. I think that's what I'm struggling with.
I think the more he speaks, the more he keeps digging a hole. That's just me. That's my opinion. I mean, we've all grown up with buddies of ours, right? Who, when they say something and they put their foot in their mouth and then they keep talking, you're like, yo, man, give it a rest, because you dig in that hole you're not going to come out of. So,
Right.
When the owner comes out and says he's disappointed, and here's the other thing. Now, this is where, do I think because he posted that he is, quote, unfit to play basketball? No, I don't. I honestly don't. But he's most likely going to see his career end because of this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's already there. Think about this, B. So he got suspended on November 3rd, and not even 24 hours, Nike dropped him. I mean, what does that tell you right there, right? So, and you can appreciate this. You played in the NFL for close to a decade at a high friggin' level and won championships in New York, right? And you always talk about the money, the money, the money. This guy signed a $130 million contract, $33 million salary. So when you are a commodity, right? When you pay a player that much, then he's a commodity. GMs are going to look at him right now and say he's the opposite of commodity. They don't want him near their team, their franchise, their fan base. So there's the rub. And you're talking about a guy that 7-8-time All-Star, just 30 years of age, hell of a player. You can argue top 5 player in the league when he's engaged, and he won a championship, and he's probably going to be done with his career. Now, I can't sit here and say I feel bad for the guy.
I don't think he'll be done. I think he'll get another opportunity. I think he'll have an opportunity with the Chicago Bulls.
Man, I know you keep saying that. It's I feel sometimes, though, these owners look at things and say, he's not, or this person is not worth the headache. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what's the headache? You got to answer questions and get pressed by the media, but no one's going to care when you're scoring 18 and you're dishing out 10 and you're winning 55 games. Man, do owners like when people F with their money?
No, nobody like when people mess with their money. So what do you mean when you say that? So he posted the picture. So you thinking the Jewish people won't show up to Nets games now? Is what you're thinking?
I think a lot of, I think a lot of fans, I can't speak for them, but my opinion, this is again apples and oranges now. I remember when Vic went through everything and the Eagles signed him, and the Eagles signed him. Okay. The backlash was like a fireball, man. It came in fast, boom. But then what happens, right? It didn't subside right away. It eventually kind of did, because ultimately, if you're scoring touchdowns or throwing touchdown passes, what are we cheering? We're not cheering, the name on the jersey. We're cheering the front of the jersey. So I see where you're saying about the second chance and the opportunity, but man, you're talking about that fan base in New York, in Brooklyn, as I mentioned, that epicenter, a lot of Jewish people, they're Nets fans. I can see them saying, hey man, I'm not going to support this franchise as long as he's on the team.
Well, let him go down to the Pelicans in Louisiana. I don't think there's a lot of Jewish people down there. I know for a fact I'm from down there, so that's.
But don't you think though?
The league needs Kyrie Irving, man. They do. I mean, they do.
Isn't there a responsibility to be careful what you put out there when you have 46 million followers? How it can be, as you mentioned, misconstrued, or how it can be perceived, or how people can look in this and draw their own conclusion. And then if you're doubling down and you're not going to give an inch, then they say, see, I told you, this is why this guy's got to get suspended. This is why this guy's got to get cut. This is why this guy shouldn't be playing anymore. I mean, that you're you're putting that out there. I mean, 46 million followers. You know how social media is. You tell somebody to jump and they probably do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got one idiot and a 46 million. That's probably a jump. And I think nothing twice about it because Kyrie said do it, right?
I didn't see a lot of current players backing them.
No, because it's something I don't know why not.
Because they
But you know
know
what?
where their bread is buttered.
They're probably not backing them publicly, but calling them and saying, bro, hey, I see what's going on. I got you. That's how they do it, man. Like that's how they do it. They're not going to publicly support him because they don't want to lose their shit, right? They don't want to, be the ones at stake here. That's just what it is. That's just how it goes.
Listen, if he keeps doubling down, now he's got to, and I took a screenshot of this because I wanted to get your reaction to this. All right, so he's suspended until he fulfills 6 conditions set by the Nets.
Well, hold on, wait.
Go ahead.
The original suspension, I'm going to take this back to Deshaun Watson situation. The original suspension was a 6-game suspension for Deshaun Watson, right? Then it came out to be an 11-game, suspension. The Nets' original suspension was a 5-game suspension without any of that bullshit, Rich.
Correct.
Then they added that bullshit to it
because he kept doubling down. So all he did was throw gasoline on the fire. That's it. If he would have came out, and I don't like to say it, but I have to, even if he didn't think it and apologize. I mean, that to me, it's not genuine, but as you said, no one gets in another man's head, another person's head, probably not having this conversation. But the fact that he kept doubling down and it comes off as tone deaf, then they decided, now, do you really think he's going to adhere to this? Ready? Issue an apology for posting the link. I'm just encapsulating it for you. Complete the anti-hate causes that Irving, the Nets, and the Anti-Defamation League agreed upon in the joint release on November 2nd. Now, he wrote a check. They sent it right back after he doubled down. Complete sensitivity training, complete anti-Semitic, anti-hate training, meet with representatives from the Anti-Defamation Leagues, as well as the Jewish community leaders in Brooklyn. After completing 1 to 5, meet with the owner of the Nets, the lead franchise officials, and demonstrate the lessons. Basically, explain to us what you learn after you get your time out and we take you out of the corner. And the lessons are, and the gravity of the harm caused in this situation is understood. Provide assurances that this type of behavior will not be repeated. So
that's a lot.
Speak
for
me.
I mean, for me, that's a whole lot. They're just trying to make him into I feel like they're trying to make him into like a puppet. Like, you're gonna do all of this shit and then you're gonna come back. Now, let me ask you something, Rich, and everybody that's gonna be watching this. All right, is there anything educational about what he posted?
I mean, I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, I looked at it when I saw it.
Is there anything that people could learn?
Are you saying because you're saying because he didn't add context to it?
He didn't add context. So could it be something educational for us, the people who's looking at that? Could that be something? Okay, because I'm gonna look into it whenever we get off and just look through it and see what's what about it, right? So something could be educational about it that comes from it, that he probably thought that maybe, just maybe, people can read and figure stuff out. But so stuff like that is really educational, right? Just like, if you posted if you posted the thumbnail to the movie Roots, I'm not gonna jump on your ass because it's educational. It's something that a lot of white people can look at that and
saw it in high school. Saw it in high school. Actually,
you know what I'm saying? You can look at it and you can learn some shit from that, right? And that may be the same situation. I just don't know if
I think it's because if the film itself advances the anti-Semitic. I think that's it's just not good, man.
People watch porn. People watch porn. And there's one woman getting a train ran on about 5 guys. That's promoting horror. That's promoting straight. The people watch it and it is still on TV. You know, they still make their little DVDs and stuff like that.
Answer that. I don't even know how to answer that.
You know what I'm saying? You got some little girl that's going in her mom's closet, looking at the porno that she had there for from years and seeing that, and you think she's going to go out there and try that? I mean, yeah, come on, man.
I think you're reaching, man. Listen, I get it. I think this is a 3rd and 17, and you guys decide to call a draw, man, instead of going down the field and picking up 20 yards.
No, I was just joking about that, man. I was just,
I'm just like,
I was just joking, man. It's just, I just don't.
Look, he came out and said he doesn't hold anti-Semitic beliefs, but he refused to say the Holocaust happened. And now he's playing the victim, and that's, you hear that.
But did he say it didn't happen though?
Yeah, that's basically what he's insinuating. Then
I know basically in it, Rich. He either said it or he didn't.
I mean, from what I gather, it sounded like that's what.
Okay, I need to go ahead and look for that interview when he said that.
So. Hold on. Speaking to reporters for the second time, he refused to say he was sorry, refused to say he didn't hold anti-Semitic beliefs, refused to say the Holocaust happened, and cast himself as a victim in the entire saga.
Refused to say that it happened. He didn't say it didn't happen.
You are splitting hairs, man. You can't be a little pregnant.
I'm just saying, Rich, I mean, the guy didn't open his mouth and said the Holocaust didn't happen, right? He didn't open his mouth and said that, they're trying to say that he's against.
Would you be offended when you played if one of your teammates turned around and tweeted or, promoted something that had to do with, say, the KKK?
I'm going to go into the locker room and next time be like, well, hey, so why you put that up? Like, so, I mean, I get it didn't have any context, but I want to know what you were thinking when you posted it. It's just that simple. It's not hard. It's not hard for the people it's not hard. It's not a hard thing to get through. It's not. I'm going to go in the locker room and be like, hey, man, I saw what you tweeted last night. I wanted to call you, but I would just rather wait till I saw you today. So what was the purpose of your tweet? Like, what are you trying to say when you put that up? I mean,
but what if they turned around and said, well, you know what? I think the KKK was antagonized and everything they did was justified. You wouldn't have had a problem with that?
No, he would have done his job as my teammate, as a co-worker, and that would have been it.
You got a lot of tolerance, my friend. You got a lot of tolerance.
I do have a lot of tolerance because he's doing the job at the end of the day, help me and I help him. But personally, relationship-wise, we're done. We're not sitting at the table.
I get it. You're not going to sit down and have lunch together. I get it.
We're not going to do that, but I'm not going to make a big fuss about it, and I'm not going to punch him in his face. I'm not going to do any of that.
Yeah. Did you, when you played, was there any culture clashes in the locker room?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
No, we didn't have one culture clash. We had
politics brought up, religious beliefs brought up, or it's just, your typical.
Listen, religious, we used to have that. We used to have that conversation all the time. David Tyree with his.
Well, he's a man of, yes, he's a man of God.
Yes. He's God himself, We used to have that conversation all the time. His locker was right next to mine. So we used to have that conversation and we used to talk and people used to pull up chairs. Got one guy to disagree here, got one guy to disagree there. He said that your view is bullshit. One said your view is bullshit. But guess what we did at the end of the day? We won a Super Bowl. Yeah. We got up and we fought and we played for each other.
Yeah. I remember I interviewed Tyree from the locker room on my radio show in 2008 with his new book. And I don't know if he was on PR's phone or I don't know. I mean, you guys didn't have pay phones in the locker room back then, did you?
No.
I was going to say that's like old
We
school.
got cell phones, man.
Yeah, he was probably on someone's cell phone at the time, but it was
Mhm.
20 something odd minutes he was on the phone. It was a great interview. And I kind of joked with him towards the end and I said, I feel like talking to you right now. I've been born again.
Right. And that's what he used to make. Like, David would be so like strong with his stances when it comes to religion and stuff like that. And he never backed out. He never backpedaled not
Right.
one time. No matter what points you made, what valid points you may have made about certain situations or certain things within Christianity that we all think is, some may say is bullshit. Some things you look at and really like, man, that's bullshit. I can't. But he stayed 10 toes down and 5 fingers up. I mean, 5 fingers and 10 fingers up and went forward with it. So he stayed in it. So, you know, we all, I love David, man. I love everybody. So I'm just trying to, you know, make out of this whole Kyrie thing. What now? If I talk to Kyrie myself and he say, yeah, B, it was screw this, and screw that, then I know.
And you look at him differently.
Then I'll look at it differently.
I get
we
it.
have some context to what he said, then I'll look at it differently. But until then, man, I can't crucify him.
Listen, and you're entitled to your opinion. And I don't think I think it's again, because like when you're little and you break something in the house and everyone knows you broke it, but you're constantly doubling down and blaming somebody else. Like it's just, I think that's where people are at with him. And like I said, the 48 million, the social media, the impact he has. If we go back to what I said originally, I can't say he's unfit to play basketball. I would, as a fan, I mean, yes, I thought it was offensive, but what also bothers me is I got a rogue player. I mean, this is pales in comparison to the tweet itself, but that you're not even listening to a coach and you knew that your time was pretty much going to come to an end with Steve Nash. Like it wasn't going to work.
Steve Nash came to him before he did.
Well, yeah. Well, I also think you needed a fall guy. You need a scapegoat. And I also believe these 6 or 5 bullet points, whatever I read, you know, this what he needs to do. I think it was put in there knowing he's not going to do it. So it makes it easier to do what? Cut him, release him, wash your hands of the situation.
So all people really want is for Kyrie to say, I'm sorry if I offended like anyone, but I really didn't mean anything by posting that. I thought it was something that someone could learn from, or something that makes people enlightened of what may have happened back then, or may didn't happen, whatever it is. But I apologize for the racket that I've caused. And people will really sit and be happy just with that.
No, because no. You're right. No matter it's going to be too little too late to probably a lot of people. I mean, think about this. His deal with Nike is suspended, man. I mean, look, he's going to be able to eat. You know, he's got money, but now you have to imagine if he doesn't adhere or do what they're asking him to do, then he's probably going to get cut. He's probably going to get released. And you're talking about $130 million contract. I don't know, man.
$130 million contract that is monthly guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
So whose loss is it?
What's that?
He gonna get that money.
Oh, I know.
He gonna get it. So they can cut him, do whatever they want to do. He's definitely gonna get the money.
Yeah. Man, it's the same thing. It's just so it's tough to gauge these situations because, like you said, you know you've lived in and you've been in that locker room and you know how people act, and you know teammates at the end of the day, what do they want to do? They want to be that well-oiled machine. You set your differences and they want to win. That's it.
Win. And that's it, man. Like I said, I don't have a hate in my heart for not one race of people. Right? I don't have hate in my heart or anything. I don't really care about religion, right? And I'm not a really big religious guy, right? I don't really give a damn about a lot of that, right? But my kids believe in God. You know, people I'm around, they believe in God, but I always believe myself as if I live the straight, narrow life, if I treat you, Rich, with respect, you treat me with respect. I treat this person with respect. I treat this person with respect and have good humanities. Nothing but good could come back, no matter what they believe, no matter what I believe. I'm going to be a good person regardless of what, but I'm not going to be a good person because I'm going by a book. I'm going to be a good person because I'm a good person and I got a good heart and I love everybody. Can't no religion, can't no nothing make me treat anyone like any better, because some people that's into that, it just is they dirt bags.
Yeah.
They dirt bags and they use it and they cheat and they lie and they steal, like all of that. So for me, I always look in the mirror. Every day I look up, I get up, I look in the mirror. I'm gonna live a straight, narrow life. I'm gonna do what I need. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna treat everybody around me with respect. I'm gonna have good humanity. I'm gonna hold the door open for people. I'm gonna pick up something that somebody dropped it. I'm gonna be as nice as I possibly can because that's just in my heart to be that way. So
Yeah.
a Mexican can walk out of the store and drop something. I'm not gonna not pick it up because he's Mexican. It's stupid. Hey man, hey, senor, you drop your bag of bananas. You know, you drop your ground beef, which is getting ready, you dropped it. Here you go, man. Your bag ripped. Senor, like, here you go, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, like this Italian lady, she walks out of the store and the whole thing of garlic drops on the ground, right?
My God, it's got to be garlic and bananas and ground.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, because if you look in a lot of Italian food, bro, it's full of garlic all over the place, right or wrong,
Yeah. No,
right? So I'm just only trying to put things in certain perspectives with different people. This black lady passed by me and her watermelon or fried chicken, whatever you want to call it, drops out of her bag. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna say, hey man,
you're stereotyping everyone now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though. But I'm stereotyping everybody.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna say, like for me, no matter how they personal or how they live their life or what they eat or what they like, I'm gonna treat them with respect and good and have good humanity toward them, and what they do, what they believe, and what they eat will not change my mind about them as a person. Is what I'm saying, which is why I went through those stages. So people want to look at me and say, "Oh, you're stereotyping this, that." But guess what?
It sounded like it.
That's what it is.
So listen, what if they're wearing a Cowboys jersey? Are you gonna hold the door for them?
If they're wearing a Cowboys jersey, man, you know what though? I get this all the time, Rich. I do this like all the time. Like this dude had on a cowboy hat once, and he walked by me, and I know he was behind me. I was leaving the gym actually. He was behind me, and I left out there, like before him, and I held the door open as I was walking out, and he said, "Thank you." I said, "Yeah, I'm glad you gave me a thank you because that damn hat you have on almost caused me to slam the door in your face." And he started laughing. Took it.
Yeah,
like, boom, boom, boom.
You just threw that golden rule out the window when it comes to Cowboys fans, right?
You know what I'm saying? But I had to tell him though. I still held the door open for him, even though he had the hat on. But I still had to tell him, I held the door open for you because I'm a good dude and I have a good heart. But that damn hat you have on your head is scum of the earth. What's that?
That's good stuff, man. No, that's good dialogue. And like I said, man, I appreciate we're just supposed to talk about things that make people feel uncomfortable, right? I mean, it's just,
and I don't mind doing it, Rich.
No.
I'm not the one. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind telling the truth. I don't mind giving my real feelings on like anything, man.
No, that was good stuff. All right, let's
see how my Twitter followers go down after this is posted.
What's that?
My Twitter followers gonna probably go straight down after we
post. But listen,
which is fine.
We don't have to agree. Like, I can't force you to think like me. You can't force me to think like you. We state our cases, we talk about it, and it like you said, it's weird because of social media. If you put something out there, to some extent, you're going to be painted with that broad stroke, right? And whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, it's just the way of the world, man. I mean, there's just too much toxicity out there. It gets bad, man. It really does. But hey, now that Elon takes over, enjoy your extra $8 a month for that blue check mark. So, whatever.
Is that what he's doing? I don't even know. So he's charging verified people $8.
$8. Yeah, I heard it might be 20.
Oh, he can take that blue check back. Now, I'm not really excited about it for real. It doesn't make me,
That's what I'm
more than
saying.
you.
Yeah.
It don't make me a better man than you or whoever else out there that don't
It's
have
how
a check.
people, but you know
You
how
can take
people
that
are,
check.
man. You know how people are. It's, I mean, you see, they spend, I don't know. It's just they're goofy the way they think.
I mean, I got the money to spend on it, but I'm not just to have it. It's not doing me any good.
Look, just one of
I
these.
can't even touch it.
Just one of these. Little check.
Yeah, like that's it. Like shit, he can take that back. Mr. Musk can definitely take Brandon's blue check back if I'm not paying you for it, brother.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. You can bill me. All right. Couple games this weekend. Giants coming off the bye. By the way, that line has dropped. It was 6.5. Now they're favored by 5. 1:00 kickoff. MetLife, no McKinney's we talked about. So defensively, they're going to have to come up with some schemes. I don't really think the Texans pose that much of a threat. They can run the ball a little bit. We saw it against
They
the
can
Eagles.
run it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, they gave the Eagles a hard time, man.
Yeah, they did.
They gave the Eagles problems.
You stack the box though, and you don't let Mills kind of beat you. If I'm the Giants, though, I just keep running Saquon, man.
I agree.
They didn't do it against Seattle. Seattle was giving up like $130 on the ground, and the Giants decide second quarter or second half, the beginning of the third quarter, to start establishing the ground game. Just run him and open up play action. And this is the game they can't stub their toe. They have to beat the Texans. They have to beat the Lions.
We need this win. This is probably the most important game of the year so far.
I think so, because if they lose coming off the bye and they fall to 6-3, now the doubt starts to creep in where you're like, it was kind of a fluke, right? The first couple weeks. You got the Lions coming up, Dallas on Thanksgiving, and then Washington. Which
is 4 we can win, by the way.
What's that?
With the Texans and those 3 games that's coming up, that's 4 games we can definitely win.
Hey, listen, they go 3-1. That's a 9-3 squad. You get to 10, that might be the magic number. The Vikes, so I don't know what's going on with Josh Allen just yet, but just to give you an idea, that line was 6.5. Buffalo is favored by 6.5. You got Allen with the UCL injury. It's dropped to 3.5 right now. The Vikings are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I know you're not a believer in the Vikes or Kirk Cousins, but
I mean, they're definitely making me. They're making me
a believer.
A believer, I'd say every week they are, because they're playing great defense. They don't. Again, they are doing what good teams do. Right. They don't beat themselves. They don't turn the ball over. They don't commit a whole bunch of penalties.
Yeah. That's a good matchup. That's a Sunday 1:00 too. Vikes 7-1, Bills 6-2. We already talked to Colts yesterday with Jeff Saturday. Raiders are laying 6 in that one. The Cowboys are playing the Packers. So I know you don't want to hear this, but the Cowboys can basically send the Packers packing, man. They're 3-6 right now. This is in Green Bay. Dallas is 6-2. Dak is healthy. They're going to run Pollard more. We already talked about the defense and Parsons. They get to
that's Pollard's team, man. That's Pollard's team.
Yeah. And the line's 4.5. I think Dallas goes in there, and I can see them waxing Green Bay, man. Can you imagine Rodgers at 3-7?
I don't know. I got to go with Green Bay here. Let's get backs against the wall.
They got no weapons.
Their backs are against the wall with Aaron Rodgers, man. So he's a gunslinger. So let's see what he do. He's been looking cooked lately, like you said. Well done. But let's see what he do.
Saints and Steelers. That's a matchup of, we don't know. It's going to be Trubinsky or Pickett against the water pistol. So your Saints are 1.5 point favorites. Your Saints are 1.5 point favorites on the road against Steelers.
I don't see it.
When are they going to go to Winston?
Whenever season's over.
Oh, you mean like literally when they lose another game? No, I'm being honest. Here. I'm looking at their schedule.
Don't do my guys like that, Rich.
I'm not trying to. I'm just,
don't do my guys like that.
You know what? I'll tell you when you're going to see Winston. When they play Tampa on Monday night in December 5th. You
think so? That division is the worst division in all of it. Is the worst. Is the
AFC
worst.
South?
Yeah, they just play the worst football. I mean, the worst contests out of all sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
it's not a good division. It's been sloppy
it's
football.
terrible.
Yeah, nine wins might be enough.
Right.
Uh,
9 wins, or might eight wins might even win the division. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. How about this? The Chargers are 5-3 Sunday Night Football against San Francisco. San Fran's 4-4. They're getting healthy, but they're laying 7. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Is San Fran that good when they're healthy?
Yes. But that one I don't know about though. They are a good team. Originally, I remember I picked them as my NFC Super Bowl
Yeah, yeah,
representatives.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
picked them in Buffalo. That's
Buffalo.
the guys I picked at the beginning. At the beginning, I believe in what they're doing. I believe in their team with Trey Lance. I believe in their team with
Jimmy.
Jimmy G. I believe because they play good defense. They're a good offensive outfit. They're a good offensive outfit, and I felt like they was in a position to go.
They've got some wins coming up. They get by the Chargers. They got Arizona and the Saints. That gets them to 7-4, and then they have Miami coming up, and then Tampa. So they certainly have. They've got some winnable games. Let me see what else. Any other game that kind of stands out? Washington's 11-point dog against the Eagles. That can be an ugly game. That's in Philly. What do you think that Colts and the Raiders? I mentioned the Raiders are laying 6. Jeff Saturday makes his coaching debut. I mean, what do you expect? I mean,
I'm depending on the coach to win, but strictly because of the guys who've been there. I mean, Jeff Saturday's a space filler, a name that played for the Colts, a Hall of Fame center. I don't think he's doing much coaching. I don't think he's doing much head coaching stuff. I really don't believe that. So I don't think he's going to be someone that stops them from winning or makes them win. I just think he's a guy who's there, who they wanted a little buzz around their franchise, and they got it.
Broncos and the Titans. Titans saw them take Kansas City in overtime. They're laying 2 at home against Denver. Denver stinks, but I think this line is telling you because it's Malik Willis quarterbacking and not Tannehill. So I would imagine they try to run the ball at least 25 odd times with Henry against that Denver run defense.
You don't think that Titans offense could be just a little bit better with Malik Willis than Ryan Tannehill?
I think Tannehill's a veteran guy that knows how to run the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Willis, obviously younger, more athletic, fresher quarterback, if you will. But I don't know how you're going to win games if you're going to complete 6 passes. I mean, you're going to run Henry. We're talking December's right around the corner. What are you going to do? Hand off the ball 30, 35 times? Isn't the point to kind of conserve him a little bit for the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, I mean, I'm just asking because he brought more to the table as far as athletic ability is concerned. And he does have a good arm, but I think he's nervous and impatient when he's in a pocket.
But you know this, right? Young quarterback. What are they supposed? You would want them to what? Look downfield.
Look downfield, right?
He's seeing the rush coming. He's not looking downfield. Listen. I thought he was going to be a dark horse, and the Giants were going to draft him. To be quite honest with you, I think I watched like 3 games of him play, and I was like, "Ooh, I just kind of." He reminds me of that new breed quarterback that GMs want, right? Runs, can scramble a little bit, make plays with his arms, kind of like a Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
But those are far and few. By the way, I know we got a couple minutes left. Did you see that Jacques Vaughn is now they took the interim tag off him with the Nets?
No,
So
I didn't.
Oh yeah. Yep. So that means
that's interesting.
Udoko. Yeah, they dropped the tag off him. So he's going to be the I guess you win a couple games. You suspend Kyrie, you win a couple games, and I still think they're a mess. I think Durant's thinking to himself, I got to get out of here. Ben Simmons can't play both ends of the floor. He's too inconsistent. I don't know. I thought they were going to hire Udoka. But I think from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did I butcher his name? Udoka?
Yeah. Hey, man. I don't know, man. I just want to see what's going to happen with this whole Kyrie situation. I kind of want him to go ahead and just do what they want him to do, be the puppet, because I like watching him play. I'm a fan of Kyrie.
He's not going to do it. He is not. I'm telling you right now, man, he's not going to do it. If he doubled down that much, do you really think he's going to tap dance and adhere to those 4, 5, 6 bullet points? It ain't happening. It's not. And then he's going to play the victim.
You can't add to a suspension, though, man. I just think that's bullshit right there. That just, this is what you gave me, and this is what I'm serving, and I'll be back playing. And that's it.
Who makes the final call?
The owner, I guess.
There you go. Right?
The owner, I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if he would have got much movement with his post on whatever he was trying to do. You know, I don't know, man. It's just a bad situation all around. You know, if I'm gonna be crucified and, like he said, dehumanized, I'm gonna do something to do it.
Yeah, I think
like Michael Jordan said a long time ago when he was talking about this gambling. He's doing it. I'm not doing anything wrong. You want to knock me off this pedestal? I'm gonna take myself off. You're not gonna knock me off. You know,
wow.
But I don't know about gambling, which gambling is not against the law.
Right.
Not hurting anybody's feelings. He ain't killing anybody. He's not eating anybody. You know?
I think the Jordan instance, though, they looked at it and there's theories for years that it was a wink, wink, step away for a little bit.
No.
Listen.
I'm a big time Bulls fan, man. He retired.
I believe so. I believe after his father was murdered, he just needed to step away, and that's when he decided, I want to play baseball.
Absolutely. I just, everybody always got something they believe. You know, I got something I believe. You got something you believe. You know, you may think it's bullshit, and I may think yours is bullshit. It's just the way life is. I think that's what makes this world a great place. I think this makes this world a great place. I think if we all agreed on the same thing all the time, it'd be a boring place to live.
No, true. But I also think there's that line of demarcation, the line in the sand where the way the world is now, you have to be very careful with what kind of message you're conveying. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And I still believe, I'm telling you right now, if I do something like that, that's it. I'm calling you from somewhere on a burner cell. I'm saying, give me an update in the third quarter.
I don't know, man.
You never hear from Richie Q again.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think people might agree with you and be like, yeah, they need to get over that shit. And you just roll on, we 27 and queuing all the way on up this thing.
I mean, if I'm going somewhere in the island, though, send like one of those coconuts. We communicate that way, maybe by like pigeon carrier.
It would definitely make our show interesting. It would definitely make the show interesting. I'm not going to stop doing the show with you. If you did that, I'm not going to stop doing the show with you. I'm just coming at you.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm
coming at you. We're going to make it work, baby. We're going to make it do what it do.
The signal might be a little rough, though. All right. Hey, good stuff. Hey, I know we got about 30 seconds left. You got your high school game?
Hey, you got a high school game, the first round of the playoffs in Georgia High School this week. Again, first time in history, we got a region championship. The second time in school history, we got a home playoff game, but we got opportunity to have three home games in a row, or even maybe 4, depending on the coin flip if we win. So it's an interesting week of football coming up. I got the boys going to the Clemson Louisville game. You know, just doing the old daddy, the old typical daddy shit of players that's being recruited and kind of enjoying the perks off of those guys.
Yeah, you already told me those free perks, right?
Yeah, man. People have been enjoying he's been enjoying the perks from me. Now it's my turn to get them from him. Shit.
It comes full circle, man. That's how.
Yeah, full circle. And if you go to the NFL and get drafted, and I have money, I want you to buy me something just because.
And rightfully so.
Just because. I don't care what you give me. It could be a wheelchair ready for me when I can't walk again. I'll take it.
Maybe another Yeti for you.
I'll take that too.
There you go.
What you say, my spicy margarita in there?
There you go. There you go. A little freezer on the side. All right. So appreciate everyone keeping us locked in another edition of 27Q alongside that man right there, the
Here, baby.
prime
Here.
Super Bowl champ from the New York Football Giants, number 27, Brandon Jacobs. I'm Rich Quinones. Follow us on social media, Twitter, IG, the YouTube channel. Keep the subscriptions coming, the podcast as well. We appreciate everyone keeping us locked in. Big man, have a good weekend. Enjoy the games. Good luck with high school. And of course, have fun with the college round and then the Giants on Sunday, pal. We'll do it again next week.
Yes, sir. I can't wait, man. Hey, everybody, great humanities. Respect thy neighbor. Peace.
See you guys later. Have a good night, everyone.